G'day traders, this is Brad Gilbert with the guide to the week ahead, 25th to the 29th of April. Alright, now this week's going to be pretty exciting, and that's pretty much with the way we left it off on Friday, and it really revolves around the Bank of Japan. Alright, so some of the key themes, just to get started in the week, obviously the dollar rally against the yen on the prospect of negative rates out of Japan. We've also, CAD strengthens, okay, bit of domestic demand, but really that oil price is driving dollar CAD. And sterling hits a 1 month high on Bromine, right? We're talking about Brexit. Now we're talking about Bromine. It looks like the polls are showing that the UK will stay in the Eurozone. Now let's just have a look at the major event this weekend. It's going to be the talking topic across the floor, and it is about the BOJ and potential for negative rates. Now if this goes through on Thursday the 28th, then we could see a massive move in the dollar, and it's going to impact all major currency pairs. So let's just have a look at the schedule, the trading schedule for the team and where these major events are. So first of all, looking at the US durable goods on Tuesday, very good opportunity to have a look where the dollar's going. Aussie CPI, UK prelim GDP, and then obviously the Canadian GDP figures on Friday. Another big high impacting release that we can really gauge momentum and look for some good levels to be trading. Now we've added the potential major impacting events here. Now these events, we just want you to know when they pop up on the calendar so you know to either take advantage of them or protect your positions. Now Thursday, as you can see, FOMC, RBNZ and Bank of Japan, a pretty big day for central banks. But let's not forget about Polos on Tuesday. Now also on Tuesday, how to really maximize profits. This is going to be a free webinar for all members, and it's really important because coming into a week where you've got major central bank announcements, you could see some huge moves, and you want to make sure your trade plan is set for those central bank announcements. Now let's just go through the major currency pairs and see where they left off last week and what the major themes are for this week. Aussie dollar is still in a nice groovy medium-term uptrend. I think the Aussie's just dribbling off. There's no weak demand here. It should sort of bounce off that support line. Kiwi though, on the other side of the ditch, has broken lower down through support. We don't really have any levels here, so this is where we're going back towards the Fibonacci's to look for some key levels. 61.8 at 67.57. It's not that far away, to be honest. But the major thing you need to identify is Kiwi at the moment is bearish, and this is important because we've got the RBNZ once again on Thursday. Okay, interest rate decision and statement. So that's where the focus is for the Kiwi this week. I know it's later in the week, but we can see where the general short-term market bias is. Now, coming back to the yen. All right, I'll come back to this at the very end, but the general theme is this thing is moving higher on the back of prospective BOJ changes to policy. All right, this is, as I said, going to be the major focus. So short term, the move is to the top side. Now we don't have any technical levels, so once again, bringing in some Fibonacci's to give us some levels. You can see the 38.2 there at 112.98, so 113 the figure. That should be a really chunky level. A big round number, bit of a Fibonacci. That's all you need to really focus on. But as I said, we'll come back to dollar yen at the end because there's a whole range of opportunities on all these yen crosses as well this week. Now euro, it's broken down. I know you can see here it's just trading sideways, but we did have a trend line. Let me just draw it in here where it has broken down, sort of down through 112.80, around there somewhere. I mean, you can have a number of different trend lines. That price action last week on the ECB really smashed the market up, and now it seems ready to move down again. Once again, no trend lines. We've got those Fibonacci's in there. You can see the 38.2 coming in right here, adding support at the current market levels. You probably want to see it down through 111.40, to be honest, before we really think this thing's moving down. And it should, to me, it should be at 105. So the FOMC on Thursday or Wednesday in the US, that's going to be key for dollar direction and specifically the euro. Now sterling, let's have a look at this puppy. It's had, as I said, Bromine and Brexit. Okay, some of the polls in the UK are showing that the UK will stay in the Eurozone, now, or the European Union, I should say. So this is one of those things, you come back and have a look at this. Okay, the polls, they're just swinging, and this could be driven by media. At first it was all negative, and they were all bearish. Okay, sterling was getting very hit hard. Now it's all positive, and it's going up. I would expect the media to have the same impact and start messing with this. So I think sterling 145 to 141. That's the general range. So I think this thing's got room to get belted again, but you've got to wait for those poles to come out. Dollar CAD. Okay, now this had a massive week last week. Oil has been all over the place ever since that Doha oil summit just over a week ago. Now oil was at 42 bucks, went back to 37. Now it's back at 43, 44 bucks. And don't forget we've got Powell speaking on Tuesday, so that's probably the key to this. Oil has stabilised, so has dollar CAD. They're trading sideways at the moment. We've got support and resistance. Powell's Tuesday. Keep an eye on oil. All right, but generally, I mean, it's in a bit of a downtrend, and that's because oil is rallying. Okay, so let's come back and focus on the high impacting opportunity this week, the Bank of Japan. Okay, it is Thursday. Now, on the calendar here, I've got 3 p.m. for the press conference. That press conference from the BOJ is tentative. Okay, it's not a set time, and this is, they love to surprise the market. But the anticipation around this, around that 3 p.m. zone, will be very important for all these yen crosses. There's opportunities here. All the yen crosses, Kiwi not so much, it's trading a bit more sideways, but Aussie yen, Euro yen, Sterling yen, CAD yen, all of these crosses have gone through the roof with this latest move in dollar yen. So we do have opportunities here, probably, I mean, potentially on both sides of the market, but if they don't go to negative rates, it will correct that move very quickly, and we'll see 200 point plus moves on the yen, plus those yen crosses. It's really appealing. You might want to check into that Tuesday webinar, how to really maximize your profits, because this is what we're going to be really focusing on. The trade plan around these central bank announcements where you do get 300 point moves. So looking at dollar yen, if they do go to negative rates or push it hard, look at these Fibonacci levels, 112.98, 114.64, and so forth. They're the levels that the projected levels where dollar yen is going to go. All right, and it will go very aggressively. If they don't do it, well, then we're going to see a 200 point correction plus some. All right, so we've got a huge opportunity. We need to control our capital and our risk on this event to make sure we don't get stopped out ahead of it, number one. And if it does come out, make sure you've got a pretty big stop loss, because it's going to be pretty loose. But once it gets going, it's going to be easy to manage with a nice trailing stop loss. So keep an eye on these yen crosses. As we get into Thursday, it's going to be really exciting. Okay, and you'll see it in the market too. You'll probably see 30, 40, 50 point moves, especially around in that afternoon session in Asia. It's going to be pretty exciting. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's going to be a big week. Fine tune your charts and get ready to trade. We'll see you there.